Well, slightly more than the usual unboxing video, I'll take you through the settings on the phone and we'll review the hardware features, and I'll include some examples of the camera's capabilities, so stay tuned. Well, nothing much has impressed me in smartphone technology since the HTC Desire, a phenomenal phone that brought to mind Arthur C. Clarke's famous saying that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Well, since that time I've had a ton of phones, the Samsung Galaxy S4, HTC One, and I currently use the LG G3. I'd say I'm pretty impervious to flim-flam marketing of small incremental changes as major earth-shaking events. And then along comes a smartphone breakthrough of a different kind, the UMI Rome here. Launched late last year, it's an Android phone running Lollipop 5.1 on a 1.3 megahertz quad processor with a 13 megapixel camera. So where's the breakthrough? Well, this beautiful device is a breakthrough in two respects. The first is Chinese build quality has come of age. This phone has a one-piece laser-cut metal frame, and Corning Gorilla Glass comes as standard. And secondly, the price. I picked this up for $59.99, or just a smidgen over 40 quid. Now, if you're not picking yourself up off the floor at this point, then I don't get why you don't get it. If you're thinking of purchasing this phone, well, stop watching the video now and go and do it. If you're unsure, then let me take you through some of the features as well as some of the examples of the camera's capabilities. But rather than prattle on about listing the specs, I'll scroll that for you now, and I'll pick up later when we go through some of the settings. Now, although the sensor status is showing the lack of a compass here, as I understand it, a new upgrade of the firmware is coming along which will unlock the compass facilities at a future point. Looking at the multi-touch, as you can see here, it only recognizes two touches. Now that's good for pinch to zoom and zoom out, but anything a little bit more sophisticated, and it maxes out at two touches. I'll just pick out some of the settings that may be outside the norm that you're used to on these menus. phone has an extensive array of gesture settings, able to control many features of the phone as well as many applications too. Now, I've used a bunch of Chinese manufactured phones in the past and always been a little bit wary of the quality of chips they put in for GPS, and I did an acquisition test, and bizarrely the cold came in first at 7 seconds and warm slightly behind at 14 seconds. I'm not sure why that was the case. Perhaps I didn't leave the cold setting for long enough before starting it, but acquisition time, certainly from warm, was pretty fast. Now onto the video samples. The camera has a built-in sensor which has a native resolution of 8 megapixels. I stuck the camera in a 3-axis Zhiyun gimbal to get some steady video shots. 8 megapixel sensor, and on stills it's interpolated out to 13 megapixels. This is native from the camera. I didn't alter this at all, didn't put it through any post-processing. Dog's looking fed up because the phone got more attention today than she did. Daffodils, the gift that keeps on giving. And some indoor low light video. Let's take a look at some still shots as well, but before we do that, just to prove the video resolution, I opened up my copy of Sony Vegas Pro, set the project settings to a resolution, and then loaded in a clip straight from the camera and pulled it to the timeline. And you get an option on Sony Vegas Pro when you pull a clip to the timeline to set the project to the detected resolution size in the frame clip, and as you can see now I'm accepting the resolution of the imported clip from the UMI, and there it is there on the screen, 1280 by 720. Stills and resolution now. Again, it's reporting a full 13 megapixels resolution there in Paint Shop Pro, and there's an example of a still shot which has now on this frame been pulled through Lightroom. Here's a low light level shot which again has a bit of noise in it, and putting it through Lightroom with some filters in there, that's the type of quality you can get. So in summary, you get a very capable mobile phone as well as a very capable camera, good GPS satellite navigation, a built-in FM radio. On the downside, only 2-touch multi-touch. It only supports 3G, not LTE. And early releases of the firmware have been exhibiting some occasional lack of responsiveness, but for $60, I think you'd be mad not to take the plunge on this device. If you found this useful in your purchasing decision, please give me a thumbs up.